What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a sensational Liverpool transfer news video, because there are heavy rumors in a lot of media outlets saying that Messi could leave Barcelona at the end of this season because his contract runs out in June 2021, so 1 year from now, and he still hasn't signed a contract extension. Messi is quite disillusioned at how things are going at Barcelona, even though Barcelona sacked their manager. The manager bounce hasn't happened yet. They struggled in the Spanish Cup, almost got knocked out by Ibiza, and also they lost quite comfortably to Valencia recently. So the reports coming from the Spanish media is that Messi is considering leaving Barcelona, and he is widely believed to view either Argentina, so going back home, or the MLS or the English Premier League as his preferred destination. And a football agent came out and said that Liverpool are the most attractive club and the best place for Messi to sign if he decides to leave Barcelona. So what do you think about this transfer rumor? Do you think that Liverpool has any chance of signing Messi next summer if he decides to leave Barcelona? So 1.5 years from now, Messi's contract will be up, so he can sign for a cut price deal this summer for a club that really wants to take him, and also Messi will consider a lot of his options. And recent comments by Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu won't have filled the Barcelona fans with a lot of confidence, because he actually said Messi will be done with Barcelona when he wants. So whenever Messi wants to leave Barcelona, Barcelona won't really stand in his way, because he achieved so much at the club and because Messi did so much for Barcelona. Basically, they will let Messi do whatever he wants with his future. So I don't think the Barcelona fans are too happy about the situation. And Spanish outlet Don Balón has suggested that Messi will consider his options if the club doesn't make some significant changes that puts them back on the winning track, because it looks like Barcelona could end up with absolutely no trophies this season. They look like a million miles away from winning the Champions League at the moment. They are off the pace in the Spanish league. They are 6 points behind Real Madrid with a game in hand, and they are already struggling this season, and it's a question whether they will win the Spanish Cup or not. Last season, after they lost to Liverpool heavily, they lost the Spanish Cup, and it looks like the Spanish Cup final to Valencia, it looks like that Barcelona haven't still recovered from that big blow that Liverpool got on them. So let's hear what the football agent, whose name is Francis Kumamin, said, and he's touted as being as an expert and an advisor to Messi, and depending on which website you are reading, and I don't know much about him, so take this with a pinch of salt, but this is what he said. Liverpool have hit a little sweet spot that they can only add to. They are the kind of team where if Messi was to move for one final challenge in a competitive league, then Liverpool is that club. So what does Messi want if he leaves Barcelona? Does he want to go back to his home country and play for maybe one of his boyhood clubs? Or does he believe that he wants to taste the American dream and an American adventure in the MLS? Many players went there before they retired. Steven Gerrard, Frank Lampard, Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and other players went to the MLS to try out the American culture and American lifestyle. But I think that Messi has such a competitive edge. He still wants to win trophies and titles, and he might want to try himself out in the Premier League. The Premier League is the most attractive league in the world, and at the moment the Liverpool are the most attractive club in the Premier League, and Liverpool are the best club in the Premier League right now. So I think that Messi, if he chooses to go to the Premier League, then Liverpool have a good chance of getting him. It all depends on whether Messi runs down his contract and signs on a free, because I think probably that's the only way that Liverpool could sign him. I don't see Liverpool paying 150 million pounds for Messi with 1 year left on his contract. But if I was Jurgen Klopp, and if Barcelona said to me, or if Messi said to me, I want to come to Liverpool, sign me up, then I would grab that with both hands. You have to take into consideration that Messi is probably the best footballer that ever played this beautiful game. And it could be a once in a lifetime opportunity to sign Lionel Messi. Of course, that is, and it's a big if. We don't know what Messi really wants to do with the end of his career. I think his preferred option would be to stay at Barcelona and achieve maybe more trophies at Barcelona, but he already did everything at Barcelona possibly. He won like close to 30 trophies at Barcelona, so there is not much else to achieve for him personally at Barcelona. He's already an absolute legend, not just in Barcelona but in world football history. And also, Barcelona are not really competitive right now in terms of they are not really in the contention to win the Champions League. I know it's crazy to say, but Barcelona are in decline, and they have been in decline almost every season since they last won the Champions League against Juventus. That was in Suarez's first season. And remember that Suarez is out for the rest of the season, possibly. He's out until at least April. And Barcelona haven't really signed a proper striker replacement in the January transfer window, which still blows my mind how a huge club like Barcelona wouldn't replace Suarez, one of their, if not their main striker, to score goals. And I think it's absolutely evident that Barcelona are not the club that they once were under Pep Guardiola, when they were winning every trophy or almost every trophy, playing beautiful football. It's really a shame. My girlfriend is a Barcelona fan. I watch the games regularly with her, and she's always complaining by how far Barcelona have fallen from their usual high standards. So I can understand if Messi decides to leave Barcelona. And there is also a big argument to be made whether Messi would consider Liverpool as his favorite club to go to in the Premier League, because of course Manchester City has Pep Guardiola, and Messi has a very good relationship with Guardiola because of his time together, because of their time together at Barcelona. But also Manchester City are not the best club in England right now. Yes, they won 4 league titles in the past 8 seasons, but Liverpool are the Champions League holders. Liverpool are on the brink of winning the Premier League, and Liverpool also are 22 points ahead of Manchester City, with of course played 1 game more than Manchester City. So it's an absolutely incredible transformation from Liverpool. And I think Liverpool, with the young squad that they have, in the next 3 or 4 years, Liverpool have a better chance to win league titles and Champions Leagues than Manchester City. The personal relationship between Guardiola and Messi maybe would tempt Messi to sign for Manchester City instead of Liverpool. So I'm not really sure what Messi's preferred destination would be if he goes to the Premier League, but the fan in me really wants to see Messi at Liverpool. That would be just an absolute dream come true. But of course we don't know whether Messi will stay at Barcelona or not. I just wanted to share my opinion with you guys, and I also want to ask you guys, what do you think Messi will do at the end of his career? Because he still is only like 32 years old, so he still has a good maybe 4 or 5 years at the top of football. I think that Messi will play until he's like 35, 36, maybe even later. So it's going to be very interesting what Messi does with his career. Messi spent his entire 16-year professional career at the Nou Camp. He didn't really show signs of wanting to leave previously, but actually he gave an interview recently where he revealed that there was one time in his career where he actually seriously considered leaving Barcelona before. Speaking to France Football after winning his 6th Ballon d'Or back in December, this is what he said, and I quote Messi here: "It was not because of a reason linked to football, but a personal one. I experienced a difficult moment with the Spanish tax authorities 5 years ago, but I succeeded in moving past it thanks to the support of people in Barcelona and around the club. It allowed me to continue here. It is just that the moment that I announced that, I did not feel comfortable in Spain. Nothing more. Offers, I get them all the time. Each year I have the possibility to sign somewhere else. A number of clubs open their doors for me, but they know that what I want is clear. There were just there in case that one day I may want a change of scenery. So this is actually a very, very clear indication that that Messi considers a change of scenery one day in his future. Before he retires, he possibly wants to experience something different on the football pitch because he's so used to playing in Barcelona and playing in the Spanish league. I think he might want to taste something different just for 1 or 2 years at the end of his career. I think that would be a fun challenge and a fun experience for Messi. So you can't really fault him for maybe in the latter stages of his career wanting to do something different. And if you are a Barcelona fan watching this, I think that you should be absolutely grateful for the time that Messi spent at Barcelona. If he leaves or not, if he retires at Barcelona or not, he is an absolute legend, probably the best player that ever played football, not just for Barcelona, but for anyone in the world. And back in November, ESPN's football expert Graham Hunter suggested that Messi could leave this summer due to Barcelona's continuous struggles in the Champions League and the club's failure to properly replace an aging squad with better players. I mean, they signed Griezmann recently, they signed Frankie de Jong, but the team is just not gelling. They just are not on the same wavelength. Every time I watch Barcelona, it just feels like a bunch of stars put together and waiting for individual brilliance to decide the game. There is no like real cohesion, real togetherness, real like fighting for each other spirit in the Barcelona team. But of course I'm looking in from the outside, so it's very difficult to judge how it feels from the inside. And also here's an interesting interview for you guys. Javier Mascherano, who played for both Liverpool and then Barcelona, was asked recently about his love for Barcelona and for Liverpool and who he would choose right now to play for. And this is what he said, and I quote, "I obviously have a lot of love for Barcelona. I spent the best years of my career there, but right now I would choose Liverpool. I feel something special for them. Yes, right now it is the best club in the world and Liverpool represents me a lot." And it's incredible that a player of Mascherano's stature can say that we are his favorite club in Europe after spending most of his career and the best part of his career with perhaps the most popular club in the Spanish-speaking world, Barcelona. It speaks volumes of Liverpool and how they capture the heart and the imagination of even the best players in the world. And also Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain talked about Messi recently. This is what he says, and I quote, "The way you can explain something like that is if you look at Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo, the bar they have set for years and years and years. They might go one season or a calendar year scoring 70 goals, and if they hit 45 goals the next year, they are probably not satisfied, and the people around are probably not satisfied anymore. Once you have proven to yourself and externally what you can achieve and the levels you can hit, that's when the difference is. When you consistently hit them year after year after year, or as close to, is when you will be satisfied with yourselves and others will be satisfied with you. That's why the likes of those two players I just mentioned go down as the greatest, because they have been able to keep that up for 10 or 15 years. That's nothing to think lightly of. It's unbelievably hard. When I look at last season, how it finished, and we didn't win the league with 97 points, you have also got to respect what Manchester City managed to do that year. the year after they won it with 100 points, to then go and get 98 points the next season takes a lot of mental strength, and it takes that sort of desire to go again the next year and not be satisfied with what you have done, to keep churning out game after game. The next year takes a lot of doing, and you've got to respect that. We are on a good track at the minute, 97 points, and you got that disappointment that made us hungry for this season again. We are going well. But it's the same mentality of nothing is done yet, the job is not done. Winning trophies, winning matches is the same thing. Once that's what you've got your mindset on doing, you do it 1 week and you've got to keep doing it every week. As Adam Lallana said, it does become an addiction. It takes a lot of mental strength as well. We have got a good group of lads here and a great manager to keep pushing for that. And so I don't think that will be an issue. It does become something you are hungry for. We are definitely hungry, but we are nowhere near finished and we are not at the target we need to get to. We have got to stay hungry, keep pushing, and then hopefully we get the results that we are after. And this is the kind of mentality which sees Liverpool winning 32 of their past 33 Premier League games, and they are now on a 42 game unbeaten streak, which is the second best unbeaten streak ever in English football, which is just unbelievably difficult to do. Absolutely brilliant. And also, I have some news for you guys that former Liverpool assistant manager Zeljko Buvac has returned to top flight football, because they just announced his new position is director of football at the Russian side, so he will be in charge of football operations. And in English, the tweet that Dynamo Moscow sent out read: the two-time German champion and Champions League finalist with Borussia Dortmund, Champions League and Europa League finalist with Liverpool, Zeljko Buvac, new sporting director of Dynamo Moscow. Welcome. So obviously I wish Buvac all the success in Russia. It's still unclear why he left Liverpool. I think it was some kind of personal issue, maybe between himself and Jurgen Klopp. Maybe it was in his personal life something happened, and there were a lot of conflicting reports, so we don't really know the truth. Maybe one of them will announce it later, maybe in a book or in an interview, what really happened and why Buvac left Liverpool. But since then Liverpool just became even better and stronger, so the fears of Liverpool fans that Liverpool would be worse off if Buvac left, they were unfounded. Not really true, because Jurgen Klopp is the most important man in a Liverpool Football Club right now, in my opinion. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.